Thank God for good brakes. I almost hit them with my car as they rushed into the street without looking where they were going. I stepped on the brakes, and the car skidded sideways and finally came to a halt. Hard in my chest and panting in fear, I jumped out of the car. "What the heck are you doing?" The young mother and her young child in her arms both had terrified looks in their eyes. She tried to speak, but didn't make much sense. She was gasping between the words. There's up there," the mother said, pointing. Her daughter was crying helplessly. Thinking someone had tried to hurt them, I turned to look up the closed-off street, but they were all alone except for something lying on the pavement. The mother whimpered slightly, then caught her breath and spoke. "There. Over there." I stared at what she was pointing at. It looked like a sleeping bag. "Stay here with my son, will you?" I asked. "I'm going to have a look." The woman nodded, then walked closer to my car that had ended up on the side of the road. Meanwhile, I approached the sleeping bag, bracing myself for whatever could be inside of it. Was it some homeless person? Maybe he had died in his sleep? Maybe that was why she was so upset? I decided that had to be it, then walked even closer. But as I did, my heart began to thump harder in my chest. As I moved closer, a face was being revealed from inside the sleeping bag that had been zipped down just enough for me to see it. I clasped my mouth and gasped as the realization sank in. This was no homeless man who had drunk too much or even died in his sleep. No, this was a young girl, and I knew exactly who she was. "Oh, dear God," I said, pressing back my tears. Fumbling, I reached inside my pocket and found my phone. Then I dialed a number. It wasn't 911. Instead, I called the guy I knew would want to know about this first. The man I had watched on TV talk about the young surfer girl's disappearance over and over again. His name was Matt Miller, and he was a detective with the Cocoa Beach Police Department. He was also an old friend. "Hello, Matt?" "Who's this?" he asked, sounding sleepy and confused. "It's Eva Ray." A long pause. "Eva Ray Thomas?" He suddenly sounded less tired. "Really?" I bit my lip and looked at the dead girl in front of me. In the background, the woman and her child were still crying. "Yes, really. I need you to come downtown. Buy coconuts. I found your girl." He went quiet for a few seconds, then sighed profoundly. "I'll be right there."